Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. This is your host Ram on the cricket show, Cricket Happenings, welcoming you all. Uh, as far as today's cricket show is concerned, there are two things that I will be talking about. One is the live test match which is going on right now in the final test match between West Indies and England at Gross Islet in St. Lucia, where England are once again struggling. West Indies won the toss and they decided to insert the Englishmen in, and the English batting is once again started struggling. They have already lost 3 wickets. Kimo Paul was the one who actually replaced Jason Holder, which was a big blow, as we all know. And Kimo Paul has already justified his place by picking up 2 wickets. And right now, Joe Root and Josh Butler are in the middle. I will have a look at this particular match and give you a live cricket update. We are in the second session. Rain has already hit the play here on the first day. Other than that, today happens to be the final match of this summer for India, where they would like to finish off in a wonderful manner by winning the T20 series, as they have been winning everything, but the only thing that it was a draw as far as Australia were concerned in the T20 series. So definitely India would like to finish off the New Zealand tour on a very winning note. So whether that is going to happen is going to be seen, but we are definitely expecting some cracker stuff at Shedden Park in Hamilton in the final T20 match of the tour, final match of the tour for India on this short tour. And definitely, New Zealand would be liking to win the match as well. There will be a nice holiday crowd present at Shedden Park in Hamilton. And then we have a look at some cricket news. We look at some Big Bash League matches and some general cricket news. So first, let's do the preview of the final T20 match between New Zealand and India, which is right now level at 1-1, and the final is the final run. It's also the final match of the India tour of New Zealand. So let's have a look at New Zealand first. Now, Tim Seifert the other day in the second T20 was kept quiet by the Indian bowlers. Now Colin Munro, one reckons this is another opportunity for Colin Munro in the absence of Guptill. As you know, Bangladesh are touring New Zealand, and already the team has been announced by New Zealand, which unfortunately sees Colin Munro out of the mix with Martin Guptill coming back. So definitely Colin Munro is getting opportunity here in this T20 to show what he is capable of. Kane Williamson will lead the side. Ross Taylor, Daryl Mitchell would be hoping that this would be the T20 match where he could make an impression with both bat and ball. He was a victim of a very dubious decision that happened when he was given LBW to Krunal Pandya, even though it went for a review. And then definitely the Chris Coughlin, the bowler who has been selected, has not been delivering as far as bowling is concerned, and he would definitely make way for a T20 debut for another pace bowler from New Zealand, the young Blair Tickner, who is really talked of very highly because of his pace. And then Blair Tickner actually will come in place of Ferguson, who definitely has a lot of pace. So pace replacing pace, one could say, but Blair Tickner will be making his T20 debut. James Neesham slots into the side, and James Neesham to me is a sort of very good choice, because James Neesham is someone who has been in some good form and he really likes to tonk the ball. and I think T20 he's ideally suited for that. So James Neesham come back. Colin D. Granholm the other day showed what he can do with the bat. And the spinners, Mitchell Santner, Ish Sodhi, and Tim Southey. So we are really looking forward to a wonderful game of cricket as far as this particular match is concerned. For India, Rohit Sharma and Shikhar Dhawan the other day put up a very good opening partnership, which was good to see after quite a long time. Rishabh Pant came in as one drop, and I think they will continue with that same combination. Rishabh Pant will come one up. Vijay Shankar has been very, very promising. And then MS Dhoni comes in at number 5. Hardik Pandya, the Pandya brothers, Hardik Pandya, Krunal Pandya. Now, Krunal Pandya is definitely showing his great utility to the Indian team, no doubt about it. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar and Khalil Ahmed. Now, Khalil Ahmed, as you know, bowled superbly the other day. He would like to carry on further, and the spin would be in the hands of Kuldeep Yadav and Yuzvendra Chahal. So it's going to be played at Seddon Park in Hamilton. Just talking about some records or some history as far as Seddon Park in Hamilton was concerned, the previous T20 produced a lot of runs. So one is expecting a run feast at Seddon Park in Hamilton. May the best team win. Colin Munro had a very good outing here, that particular match, when he blasted an 18-ball half century. So, but as I said, this should be a sort of a game which is going to be absolutely cracker stuff, according to me. So just it has taken me down to the summary there of the 6th match that happened in the Trans-Tasman T20 Trial Series at Hamilton, when Morgan was the one who got the Man of the Match award for his exploits. As I said, Seddon Park in Hamilton promises a real run feast. You can expect a lot of runs in this particular match. Just talking about the summary that match happened, flashing you back to that particular match which happened, the last match that happened in Seddon Park in Hamilton. England made 194 for 7 of their 20 overs. Morgan was the man of the match, 80 of 46 deliveries, and David Mallon made 53. And New Zealand, in reply, 192 for 4. Guptill 62, and Munro blasted 57 of 21 deliveries. So that was the card which I just wanted to briefly talk about. So one is expecting a lot of runs here at Seddon Park in Hamilton. So that is as far as this preview goes between India and New Zealand. That will be very, and I think, as I said, may the best team win. Now, the other thing that I'm going to look at, let's go to a live cricket update. As I said, right now as I'm talking to you, the 3rd test between England and West Indies, it says England put into bat by the West Indies after West Indies won the toss are 84 for 3. So one can definitely say the England struggle continues. Let's look at what happened today on the first day. Jennings was preferred to open the batting to Ben Foakes, and that resulted in Keemar Paul playing his 4th test match here in place of the suspended Jason Holder, the West Indian captain. Craig Brathwaite is the one who is captaining the West Indian side, and Keaton Jennings was an early victim today. It was a loosener from Keemar Paul, the first delivery of that particular over, and the ball was wide off the stumps, and Jennings was not. Jennings was trying to steer the ball through the slip region, but it ended up with Bravo taking the catch. It's a regulation catch taken by Bravo. Jennings on his way back to the pavilion for 8 with 1 ball. It was a very scratchy innings from Jennings, and Rory Burns and Jennings were very, very watchful in the initial session, with Shannon Gabriel ramping up the pace. Kemar Roach, always a sort of a psychological problem for England. And Kemar Roach has been very, very successful coming round the wicket and angling the ball into the England bats, especially with left-handers. He has been somewhat a real tough thing to happen. Azari Joseph Kimo Paul has been very, very impressive. He picked up the wicket of Keaton Jennings, and then it was Rory Burns, the next victim, as Rory Burns, after making 29 with just one boundary, he was really kept quiet by the West Indian bowlers, and Kimo Paul was the one who picked up his wicket. This was a ball from Kimo Paul, who's a very nippy sort of bowler, really gets some, he can surprise you with your pace. He came round the wicket, going wide of the crease, so probably taking a leaf out of Kemar Roche's book, one could say, in this series. Around the wicket, going wide of the crease, angling the ball into the body of Rory Burns, and that ball was missed by Rory Burns, and he was absolutely plumb in front, and Rory Burns went LBW ball Kimo Paul for 29 with 1-4. After that, Shannon Gabriel showed what pace can do, as Joe Denley was pinched on the pads. It was Denley was onto his was actually rooted to the crease, and one thought probably the ball would have gone over the stumps, but it was the umpire had already raised its finger, and it was all over. Before one could decide about a review, it was all over. They had already passed through that time, I reckon, and Denley was a goner, and they were 69 for 3. The consolidation has already started, but it's something that they need to really, this pair needs to really take it on. Joe Root, the captain, is not out on 6 with 1 boundary. Josh Butler has flashed 2 boundaries in his score of 8, and they are the ones. They still have batting, but I'm sure this pair is the one which has to take it far for West Indies, for England to really float on. So that is the match situation, 89 for 3. Now we are going to have a look at some cricket news, but also we will have a sneak peek at the Big Bash League matches. Big Bash League match saw one match today. Perth Scorchers, who have been struggling in the Big Bash League, once again lost their match today. So let's have a look at some cricket news before we go on to the Big Bash matches. As I said, Bangladesh are the ones who would be touring New Zealand after India fly away from New Zealand today after the final T20, and Martin Guptill has been given a chance. Martin Guptill comes back into the team, so Munro has been dropped. Munro, after his very poor form, finds himself out of the New Zealand mix of things. Other than that, Mickey Arthur, the Pakistan coach, has said that before they select the World Cup squad, the Pakistan Super League that will happen will decide a lot of places in the World Cup squad. And for Bangladesh, definitely this Bangladesh team is looking good, but definitely the injury problems have plagued Bangladesh, and here their main player, Shakib-ul Hasan, with a fractured finger, is out of the ODI series in New Zealand, which is a big blow according to me. And talking about the game here, as I said about the Big Bash League, Sydney Thunder played against the Hobart Hurricanes today. Brisbane Heat are still keeping their chances alive as far as the semi-finals are concerned. It was today, the match was between the Hobart Hurricanes versus the Sydney Thunder, and the Sydney Thunders were the one who won the match by 4 wickets, but Hobart Hurricanes Sydney Thunder, they needed to chase 166 in 11.3 overs to keep their chances alive, but it didn't happen due to some good bowling from the Hobart Hurricanes, and Sydney Thunder were kept to 166 for 6, even though they won the match. they still have to depend on a few factors. They could not do what Brisbane Heat did the other day when Ben Cutting and Max Bryant, the young player, actually smashed 158 runs in 10 overs to keep their hopes alive. So that is as far as the Big Bash League is concerned. There's also one more match which is played. Adelaide Strikers were taking on the Perth Scorchers, who have been having a very, very poor run in this Big Bash League. And it was it was the Adelaide Strikers who won the match, and the Perth Scorchers definitely having a very bad BBL. And today it was the win was fashioned by John Wells and Harry Nielsen, who took them to a victory by 5 wickets, with the Adelaide Strikers making 175 for 5 in reply to Perth Scorchers, who collected 174 for 6. And as I said, Perth Scorchers has been really been a very bad BBL for them. Other than that, I'm trying to see if there is any other news that I could really share with you, dear fans, friends and subscribers of this cricket show, Cricket Happenings. Other than that, I can give you some update. The first unofficial test, day 3, England A taking on the India A team. England A 340 all out. India A raised a massive 540 for 6 declared. Priyank Panchal has gone on, has carried on, made a fluent double century, and the wicketkeeper KS Bharat, the centurion, another centurion for India A team. So definitely showing that this Indian team has some great talent in the offing. So that is that is as far as cricket news is concerned, and I think I have almost covered everything as a snippet. And well, dear fans and subscribers, it's about time for me to pull the wind up button on this. But just before I leave, let me give you a live cricket update coming in from St. Lucia here, Gross Islet in St. Lucia, and see what the score is. Well, the score has moved on to 92 for 3, with both Joe Root and Josh Butler having 8 apiece to their name. And as I said, this partnership should really go on for England if they have to really really forge ahead in this particular in the first innings on the first day. Well, dear fans and subscribers, I know that I wouldn't be able to give you come and make a show, but as I said, one thing that I do, even though my daily cricket show now, I can't call it a daily cricket show because I am not living up to that name, unfortunately, due to paucity of time, as you understand. So what I would say is that whatever you missed, I mean, if at all you don't see me live on the show, it's quite okay. I'm there on my cricket tweets, tweeting on the game. So you can definitely catch up with me on Twitter, where I have 900 and right now I'm out with 988 followers following me on my cricket tweets. Well, dear fans and subscribers, a pleasure bringing you this particular cricket show. I would love to bring it every day, but as you know, I have become a bit irregular with this cricket show now. As I said, I have not been able to live up to this image of a daily cricket show, unfortunately, which I do regret, dear fans and subscribers. But as and when I come on, it is a real pleasure to get connected to you all. And thank you for all your tremendous company and tremendous support to this cricket show, or else this could have never been a success. Thanks for your company once again. It's your host Ram pulling up the wind up button for today. Thank you.